Will, I am so excited that we are finally about to launch the April through June issue of CALIBR Magazine, the travel planner. I feel like for some reason this almost feels like it was more difficult than launching the whole magazine to begin with. I don't know why. Maybe we're just tired. What do you think?
I think you've done such a good job. You put everything into it. You just need to kind of take a step back and say, but you've done a great job. I'm excited too. So
tell us what your editor's letter is about. I know this is near and dear to your heart.
It's about land. And that is my favorite subject within the firearms community for African Americans, because we often go shoot on Saturday and Sunday, and we always have to go to somebody else's place, outside or in. So I'm a big advocate of getting land that you own. And just recently, I was able to purchase 51 acres. So I know the process. It's very, very challenging if you're doing it for the first time, and I was doing it for the first time. But land is very, very important for our people to start thinking about acquiring if you don't own any land where you shoot at. It's not difficult. If we can buy cars and we can buy all this stuff that we do on the regular, we can sit back and save our pennies and our dimes and our nickels and our dollars to purchase land, because the benefits outweigh anything that we can do in the interim as well as the long term, because you get tax advantages, you get the ability to bring as many folks as you want on your land, as much as you want, as many times as you want, and you know what? You don't have to pay anybody. And when you do that, it's been proven over time, you develop better shooters collectively when you own your own land. It's not even close. Name one person that owns land and shoots, and that's typically a very good shooter, because you know why? They can go to that land every day, all day, bring their cousins, their friends, their colleagues, their workers that they know, and they can practice. As long as you have ammo on your own land, you can practice. There's nothing stopping you from improving your skill set. So, because everyone knows shooting is a process where you develop muscle memory, and your muscle memory becomes very, very highly tuned when you own your own land. So I'm a big advocate of it, and I think our people need to really start looking at it. So this is a topic I can talk all day about. Land is good for us from A to Z. So my mother, coming up, even though we didn't have a lot of money, she was able to acquire land, 3-4 houses. And this is after my father had passed away. So it was kind of interesting to see how she negotiated the financing requirement, pulling money out of one house to put down on another. And before you know it, she had 6 houses. So I took those early lessons as a child and said, when I get older, I'm going to at least try to buy at least one additional piece of land. So I took my mom out there for the first time on the 51 acres that my wife and I own, and just watched her walk around. And it was kind of like full cycle of, from beginning where it started with my mother to myself. And it was a generational moment that I cherish, because she looked at the land and kind of looked at me and smiled, and without even saying anything, she knew what I was thinking, and I knew what she was thinking. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to try to put yourself in a position to help your kids and to help yourself by being in control. And that's the one thing I want African American firearm owners to understand. It's great to shoot. Don't get me wrong. When you know how to shoot, it helps you be able to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones. But there's other things that are just as important that you have to start incorporating into that process. And land is definitely one of them, because you can start controlling your environment. Just think all the money that I spent the last 5 years shooting. A lot of money, probably in the thousands, easily in the thousands, at other people's gun ranges. A lot of money. Ammo, I'm renting ears and eyes sometimes. If I don't bring my own, the range time, it adds up. But now I don't have to worry about those issues. I just go to my range, I drive my car on my property, park my car, drive up to my range, and I shoot. And you know what? Nobody tells me when I have to stop, other than when I want to stop. And my mother now, I can bring her with me if when she comes to visit. And, just the generational connection again, definitely came home to me, because I'm a big advocate of being in control of your environment as an African American firearms owner.
One of the things that I really love about this issue, since you really kind of set that precedence about land ownership, it feels like we put it out into the universe, and without even trying, there are so many of the people that we featured who are also landowners, you know.
It
And
is. It's amazing. It's
yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing. Like we got Josh and Amber Gordy. Josh, from NFL fame. I'm gonna say that like I knew it. When we first invited him and his wife for an interview, or asked them for an interview, I remember sending the message to you and Ron, and I was like, y'all ever heard of this man? Because
Oh
I
yeah, for sure.
randomly found him in a Google search, and I saw the NFL part, and I was like, oh yeah. So, but it's really cool how he leveraged his NFL career and the money that he made, and really started investing in real estate. I'm amazed at the freedom that he and his wife get to have because they own land, and they basically are writing their own ticket. They can spend their time exactly how they want. It's really phenomenal.
Yeah, you can invite all your friends over. You can have picnics and family gatherings forever. You can have competitive shooting. You can just sit down and appreciate each other as Black folks, and say, hey, you know what? Let's just take this moment and let's really enjoy each other. Let's open maybe a glass of wine or beer, whatever your preference of beverage, and just sit down and take time to just have fun. And I think that's one of the things, you can just have fun. It doesn't have to be so serious where you're so tight-lipped and you go on your land and you're doing something so serious. It could be fun. And I know for me, having fun is a prerequisite. That when I go on the land, every time I'm having fun and I'm having a good time. And this couple, they're really an example for everybody to really look at closely.
Yes.
That they leveraged their resources, and now they have something that's very, very beautiful and very, very special. So
Yeah.
everybody needs to read that article and take something away from that.
Now, you also introduced us to Dr. Stephen Walker. So he's a landowner.
Yes. Dr. Steve Walker, I'm telling everybody, read about this brother. He's a Renaissance man. Just to give everybody a little sneak peek,
Yes.
He has a PhD in veterinary science. He is a professor at an HBCU, Tuskegee University, proudly. He is a hunter. He is a farmer, and he's a landowner of, I think, 40 some odd acres.
48.
And 48 in Tuskegee, Alabama. So I mean, he is a Renaissance man, highly intelligent, very interactive with the natural setting. I went out there on his land and walked with him. Beautiful piece of property. Showed me where he fished at and what he caught, and I learned a few things myself. So
Yes.
he's another brother that really is a special jewel for me, and I think everybody in the community and the NAGA family will get something out of it when you read the stories about him.
Yeah.
And another good thing I like about Stephen is that sometimes you meet somebody that's very successful and they have a lot of accolades and they got a big designation behind their name and they make all this money and this and that. What I liked about him is he's just down to earth. He's real.
Yeah.
He's not, any kind of airs about him. You just think he's just another brother that you met on the street and he's having a conversation. But yet this guy is super intelligent and he's just very relaxed with himself. He knows what he knows and he doesn't have to prove anything. And I think it's lost in a lot of cases when you have people like that. He's for our people.
Yes.
He could work probably any other place in the country with the degrees that he has and experience as a veterinary professor who leads and is managing these small animals department for all of Tuskegee. But yet he wants to stay there. He wants to serve the community. He wants to help out.
Yeah.
He wants to be a mentor to that next generation. And that's the part that we really got to give him his props and his kudos, because he can go a lot of other places and make probably 3 times the money, but yet he wants to stay there at Tuskegee and be a diamond for those next generation of potential veterinarians that are going to be Black. So he has my respect a lot.
Well, I love it that he's so committed to, he said he's committed to growing food for the communities in Alabama, the counties in Alabama that are food deserts, that he's passionate about using that land to teach other Black folks how to be farmers, how to learn how to grow our own food. It was cool to meet him, and I loved his gun collection. I liked how we asked him if he could bring a firearm with him for the photo shoot, and how it was like every room, every corner, he was bringing out more guns. So his
Yeah,
collection,
that brother's ready. He's ready for whatever.
he's ready. His collection was something else, and I loved it. He said, "Oh, but that's just what I have here. He's got more at his other house." Like, okay,
Right.
yeah. And then
He's definitely legit.
We have Malik Wilder. So Malik reached out to me on LinkedIn after he saw the fishing section in the market, and that what a treasure. So he is an international fishing guide. He's traveled the world fishing.
Wow.
But he also he has a real estate career that makes it possible for him to do all of this. He owns a brick and mortar business building for his business that they built from scratch, him and his family. And now he invests in real estate. I love too that he has a commitment to teaching youth. He calls it Fishing for Hip Hop is his marketing campaign for a nonprofit called Fish Inc. that he started. The man is amazing. I've never seen anyone who likes to fish as much as he does. Let me tell you, I went out my first time ever fishing with Malik Wilder. So that was a special.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a trip. I told you we were out on Lake Allatoona that one weekend. You were looking for us.
Okay.
I love too that we have Tyson Reddic, and he is one of our top community members in CALIBR Community. We asked Tyson to contribute because he was posting inside of the community talking about his RV lifestyle. He owns 200 and some acres of land. He does survival classes for youth. He does he does everything, and he's an IT professional. But we asked him to give us some insight into his RV life, and so he's contributed. We didn't go after him because he owns land, but when we started looking at the whole list of all the people, it was amazing. And I love how you called that out and brought that together, and really it was so wonderful. And I like how you challenged. You said, "Who's got next?" So
yeah. And that's the object of all this, is not to necessarily brag about what you got or what somebody else in the corner has. It's to say, okay, I did it. This is how I did it. So let's work together so you can get yours and we can pass it down. Because that's how other communities work. They don't rest on one person having the community. They want everybody in their community to have that same kind of stability, ability to do what they want with their own land. So this is a time for us to really, as our ancestors say, pass that torch of information to the next person coming down the line. And I'm willing and able and ready to do it because I think it's about time. We have income, even if you don't think, and I'll say this for everybody out there that's listening, even if you don't think you can do it by yourself, that's okay. 10 of you guys get together and do it. Yeah. If you can spend $50 a week or $25 a week, take that money and put it in a piggy bank, save it for a couple of years, and get together with 10 other people. You got $30,000 or $40,000 right there. That's a down payment on the property. That's a down payment that you can do it. So if you can't do it yourself, get together with some like-minded folks. And if you can't get with some like-minded folks, get with some folks that are just on an investment standpoint. But you can do it. There's a lot of ways you can buy land. You can buy land through owner financing if your credit's bad. You can buy land with some joint partnerships. There's a lot of stuff out there, but you just can't sit back and let everyone else do it and say, I can't do it. No, you can do it. If I can do it with my simple self, everybody else can do it.